And that's exactly what he does. He's able to stabilize the board and keep 3 minions on board. And the 2 mana overload was kind of hindering, but he works with it well. Zephyr, now the mind control tech does not look very attractive.
Let me think.
Shredder comes down again, so that's 2 Shredders in a row. And full mana for StanTheYeti, so he's able to develop pretty much whatever he wants. Looks like the Flametongue Toad might come down. That will give a nice trade from the Haunted Creeper into the Shredder. But after that, he's probably just gonna he's gonna go for the Doomhammer. No Harrison Jones for Zephyr, but he's probably running one in his deck. I think Harrison Jones in Paladin deck might be 50-50. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. So we'll see if he actually has it in his deck. There are no deck rules at this current stage of the game, so these guys can be running any cards in any class, whatever they want.
There is little time.
He's really thinking about that sludge. He's hovered over pretty much every card in his hand, and I guess he's gonna go with the Sludge Belcher for now. Everything to face. Ragnaros in hand. Sludge Belcher to answer the Sludge Belcher. So probably no Shredder attack right here. Oh, he's gonna attack into the other taunts. That's a nice easy opening. Fire Elemental is pretty much a great play here. That's going to allow him to clear out the Sludge Belcher pretty efficiently. Keeping his wolf alive. Now, does the mind control tech get used here? There's some great targets on field. And whatever does not get mind control tech can just be killed by that Shredder. Looks like that's probably okay. So he's gonna silence. So that means he's not. Wow, interesting. He silenced first before he figured out what he was gonna get. Ooh, and an explosive sheep. That's very almost like sad to get, but I guess it works for him. So let's StanTheYeti has some great options here. He could basically kill his opponent's explosive sheep and wipe everyone's board, and then start developing. He doesn't have much to develop, so he might want to try to save his board, but he's already at deficit regardless. So Zephyr has a great momentum going into this, even though he got explosive sheep. StanTheYeti is not really able to develop much on the board. Flametongue Totem might come down just to kill everything off on the board. He's gonna go face! Alright. So that means that he has lethal next turn, but StanTheYeti or Zephyr will be able to. Okay, so he needs to get a taunt here soon, but he can't play his Tyrion until next turn, so this might just be game right here, right now. Man, StanTheYeti has dominated this night. He has destroyed 2 opponents so far, and looks like he's on the verge of taking a 3rd. Zephyr kind of realizes that he is on a clock, and he does not look like he wants to take out. That's going to leave a nice clean board if he does this. So board control in the favor, but he's not able to develop a taunt just yet. So if he is able to live one more turn, well, the Hex might fuck him over, but you know. Ooh, and a Lotheb. Does that block out? No, it does not. He has perfect mana to use it. And StanTheYeti is going to win with 23 life. So we're going to go commercial break while I set up game 2. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back everyone. We have game 2 starting up. Currently, StanTheYeti is up by 1 game against Zephyr. Zephyr, our first night, he played last night, and he played like this Giants Mage, and it looks like that's what he's going to go back to, a Giants-based Mage, which he has Molten Giants, and he has Mountain Giants, and it looks like he's going to go up against a Ramp Druid, so the Ramp Druid is going to get a lot of work done with that Black Knight, but he has no idea what he's facing so far. This mage is one of the most unique mages you'll ever face, but Zephyr plays it amazingly, so we'll see what Zephyr's able to pull out. Starting out with the ping, so StanTheYeti is realizing that this is not a mech mage, and this is some other type of slow mage, so it could be fatigue, it could be freeze. He's probably not expecting a Giants Mage. Ooh, and a flame cannon. That could probably be played right here, or it could be saved till a few turns in, but it looks like he's going to go for it right now. Shredder comes down, and StanTheYeti, be sure to note how he's able to develop something. So the duplicate comes out. That's probably going to work well with the Sludge Belcher. That's probably what Zephyr's going to go for right here. And StanTheYeti's going to probably just do 2 to Vase. He does not know what type of mech mage, or what type of mage this is. Looks like the Sludge Belcher will go down, and that might tip him off. Ooh, and a Black Knight. Yeah, that will proc the duplicate. There are stuff like Mountain Giants in this deck, so the Black Knight did not attack the perfect target, but Zephyr is able to develop pretty much whatever he wants here. He could go with another Sludge Belcher that would contest the board great. He's going to go with the Frostbolt into a Flame Cannon, probably, and see if he's able to ping down. Okay. Millhouse! That's the second time we've seen Millhouse tonight, so Zephyr's kind of probably salty about that. StanTheYeti's looking pumped, and he's just going to ping down the Black Knight, leaving open for like a Flame Strike buff next turn. But does StanTheYeti care? He could just Dr. Broom here, yeah, so he does not care about Flame Strike. Yeah, there is not one in hand. And Zephyr is down to 12 life with no real good options to him. He is forced just to Sludge Belcher, I guess, and probably ping a Boombot. So let's see where, and it hits Sludge Belcher for 3. Big Game Hunter, so Big Game Hunter could be used on a Giant, but the game might not go long enough for a Giant to be relevant. And there we go. StanTheYeti is able to defeat Zephyr at 29 life. Bravo to him. We're going to go to a commercial break while we set up the next game. We'll be right back. Thank you everyone for watching. Welcome back everyone. We're able to get into a next game with StanTheYeti. He's going to face the Chipmunk. Chipmunk was a competitor maybe 3 nights ago, and let's see what type of decks he brings tonight. So we're not able to see the hand just so far, so we may have to reload into this game. That's not a problem. So yeah, we're just going to do that real fast. Reload before the game gets really good. So we're going to follow StanTheYeti. And he is going to be playing against the Chipmunk. So StanTheYeti is running the Shaman deck that he ran a few times now. The Chipmunk is going to run like a mid-range Hunter. Slow start from the StanTheYeti, but Chipmunk's able to develop something on turn 2. Feral Spirits is going to challenge the Mad Scientist great, so that'll leave him some options next turn with Flame Tongue Totem. Chipmunk's gonna go for a Shredder probably right here. And probably not attack, leave the Mad Scientist to stay alive hopefully. Flame Tongue Totem looks attractive, but maybe just a totem up is the safest play. Hopefully you get like a healing totem whenever you do trade into the Mad Scientist. So he's going to go for the trade, and he set up, looks like he's going to set up a Flame Tongue Totem. He's going to test the trap first of all. It's a freezing trap. So that's going to go up to 4 mana, and no overload probably, yep, no overload, and just developing a totem of his own. So the fire totem, so StanTheYeti is upset about something. But not a big deal. Chipmunk's gonna be forced to trade into the wolf and a hero power. So first blood for the Chipmunk. He's able to get StanTheYeti down to 28 life. So bravo for first blood. He chooses not to attack in, so that means the Flame Tongue Totem could get some great value here if he plays it. But he has 5 mana, so plenty of options. Azurdrake's going to come down, start some card draw. He's going to have some great spell power if he does that, but he doesn't really need it right now. Really thinking about this turn. Now, StanTheYeti is the first player that we had play tonight, and he was able to defeat 3 opponents, and he defeated all 3 opponents with a great life total, so he's up to 84, but looks like he is really debating this turn. He's going to start with the Harvest Golem, probably. Really thinking about this. Harvest Golem and a Totem probably is what he's going to go for. Yep. And there we go, Harvest Golem, Totem. Great arsenal, so he's able to protect. Now Chipmunk is saying that didn't quite hit the mark, so here we go with the Knife Juggler, and it's going to be probably traded into, let's see how he trades this. He will get max minions if he does the Hounds now. Looks like he's going to go for the Hounds now. He's only going to get 4 Hounds out of the potential 5. And then he's probably going to trade one in before popping the Haunted Creeper. No! Okay, so he has to trade one Hound in before popping the Haunted Creeper, or else he's only going to get 1 Spider out of it. And that's exactly what he does. So he is leaving himself really open to Lightning Storm by popping the Haunted Creeper when he really didn't have to, but StanTheYeti has no such card in his hand. He's going to go with the Fire Elemental, probably to start chipping away at this board. Does he Fire Elemental the Knife Juggler or the Shredder? He really needs a Lightning Storm, but I think we did see that in his deck a little bit ago. But he's just going to start with an Azurdrake. So instead of killing stuff with the... Ooh! Chipmunk realizes that StanTheYeti was not able to develop anything, and he's just going to go straight for face. He almost has lethal here with the 2 kill commands. Looks like he is... Yeah, he is 2 damage off lethal, but it's a hunter, so he can just do that 2 damage whenever he wants. So Chip the Monk might be taking this game. Yep, and he does, and that's going to be with 27 life. And we're going to go commercial break while we set in this game. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're able to hop in the next game. Currently, it's StanTheYeti versus the Chipmunk. The Chipmunk is up by 1 game in this best of 3. But StanTheYeti is the current tree topper with 3 wins in a row against various opponents. So StanTheYeti is able to start with a... Looks like another standard ramp druid. Chip the Monk is going probably with the Demon Warlock. This might be Zoo, this might be Handlock, but I'm gonna guess it's a Demon Warlock. That's the most common we've seen these days. No such signs, no... Okay, so it is not a Zoo, so he has control cards in there with Shadow Flame and Anti-Keelbot, so he's starting out with a life tap. StanTheYeti is able to start out with a Wild Growth, so fairly slow starts, but yet very powerful starts for both these players. Another life tap. And this deck so far from Chip the Monk is very interesting. We see no sign of a demon-based deck, but... Ooh, okay, so we have Jiraxis, so this is definitely some type of demon. And Chip the Monk has plenty of options. He's able to life tap 3 turns in a turn. StanTheYeti throws down... Ooh, now this is a beast. Let's take note. This Druid of the Claw is a beast, and this drop that he got from Shredder will gain stats from whenever a beast is killed. So that'll be very interesting. The coin's going to come down maybe for a Sludge Belcher and a Wrath, or maybe a Sludge Belcher and a Hero Power. We'll have to see. This just gives double protection to the Hyena whenever it does choose to attack. Will it attack right here just to go down to 1 life, and then that's going to leave it open to a Mortal Coil, so it looks like the Hyena will not get any stats just from the Druid of the Claw. Hellfire is going to come down, and that's going to kill 2 creatures, not 3. So the Sludge Belcher will survive, but looks like an Owl is going to come down to challenge it. So the Owl might die to a Hero Power just to protect his Sludge Belcher. And it looks like that's what it's going to do with the Nazareth Drake. So great top deck from StanTheYeti. And StanTheYeti is able to maintain board control. Chip the Monk has 7 mana to work with and plenty of options. The Loatheb is probably a great draw. That'll challenge pretty much everything on board while blocking out the spells. So double spells in the hand for StanTheYeti. He cannot use any of them, but he has plenty of minions to play anyway. He might just start with the Ragnaros and just kind of go for face. He has not really seen a big indication of how this Warlock will play. Most of the cards that you've seen so far are standard cards that you see pretty much in every Warlock. So he has not seen any Void Callers or any Mountain Giants, Twilight Drakes, stuff like that. But we can see the hand, and we kind of know that it's mostly a demon-based Warlock. The Rag will come down. Looks like he's just going to attack face as well, so he is not worried about Molten Giants whatsoever. And it does kill the Loatheb, so Chip the Monk is down to 9 life with huge threats on board. He does not have anything like a Siphon Soul to answer the Ragnaros, so he is just kind of SOL right now. He might go with a Shadow Flame? Okay, Power Overwhelming, that'll get up to 7. And then he will be able to Mortal Coil it next turn, but so far this turn. Okay, so StanTheYeti is able to just win with 26 life. So bravo to him. And whenever lethal does come down. Oh yeah, 26 life. So we're gonna go to commercial break. Like I said in this game, we'll be right back. Current score is 1-1. Alright, welcome back everyone. We got StanTheYeti versus the Chipmunk. This is the 3rd game out of their best of 3, so whoever wins this will be the winner, but yet StanTheYeti has defeated pretty much everyone in his path. And he is currently at a 3-win streak with plenty of life, so if the Chipmunk is able to win here, that means the Chipmunk will be our tree topper going into the next day, but StanTheYeti will probably win this day as a total.
Hello?
This is probably one of the last contestants that we have for the night. Haunted Creeper does come down, along with the coin, so the Chipmunk is playing, looks like a Freeze Mage, just from the Alexstrasza, but it could be like a Fatigue Mage, it could be a Giants Mage. We haven't seen too many. Okay, so the Thalnos, that kind of hints more at a Freeze Mage. Okay, so looks like a Freeze Mage with a Frost Nova. StanTheYeti is able to develop a fairly decent board here and get Chipmunk down to 22 life. And the Ice Block does kind of signify more Freeze Mage. So Alexstrasza is probably going to be used here defensively once the Hunter has all burned up. But this Hunter is not a face Hunter. This is like a mid-range style Hunter who's just had a great start. Chipmunk is just trying to get minions on board to challenge what's already there. Well, probably like a Houndmaster might come down just to protect his Knife Juggler. Houndmaster on either of the beasts would probably be great. Looks like he's going to throw it on Leok. Trying to think which one's the best target. Completely going for face. Realizing that Chipmunk is down to 11 life. Chipmunk has to freeze here. He does not have any good AoE. He's able to set up some secrets, probably get some card draw. He might just keep the... Okay, so he's going to keep everything alive, not do any trading. The bow's going to come down. It could be a secret as well. Oh, he's going to just hero power. So down to 6 life for Chipmunk. And Chipmunk has no AoE in his hand so far, so this might just be game right here. He could get an Ice Block, so he's gonna draw, and he gets Pyroblast. That's not what he wanted. The secret that comes out will be Ice Block, so he gets an Ice Block, so that means that he can use both Ice Blocks. He's gonna go for another draw, and he gets Polymorph, so he has plenty of cards, but no AoE so far. The only AoE we've seen so far is a Frost Nova, but that has not been coupled with anything. Looks like he just wants to throw down, so he's gonna get it. Okay, so he's continued the card draw. Finally, he gets a Flame Strike,
My apologies.
but that can be used next turn.
Hey, speak to me.
So the Ice Block will get procced here. And the Chipmunk's able to AoE next turn, but man.
That didn't quite hit the mark.
So the Knife Juggler is forced to take out the Antique or the Acolyte of Pain. Flame Strike is the only option here, but it's not gonna actually save him considering. Okay. Yet Lethal still is on board, so StanTheYeti is able to win with 29 life, so bravo to him, and we'll go to commercial break while we set up the next game. We'll be right back. StanTheYeti versus Oily Nub, and StanTheYeti currently has defeated 4 opponents, so he is on a complete tear, and he's running a funky mage, or a funky druid with the Ogre Brute. Looks like he's going for maybe more of a silence-based druid. And Oil Nub is going with the standard shaman, or standard paladin, looks like, with the muster for battle and whatnot. Both players running big game hunter, so and a fast. Let me answer StanTheYeti real fast. Okay, so Oil Nub is facing down this Ogre Brute, and he doesn't have much to say about it. He could probably throw down a shield bot next turn, but so far he is just like, oh my god. These innervated turns from druids can be quite scary. Shield and Minibot does come down to hopefully start whacking at this Brute. Oh, and a Fel Reaver. Okay, so this is a silence-based deck. So what Druid does, Druid runs all these huge creatures that have lower mana but then have negative effects like Ogre Brute and Fel Reaver, and then runs stuff like Wailing Soul to silence it out. So the amount of silence in this deck probably is up to maybe a couple Keepers, maybe a couple Wailing Souls, Okay, so Big Game Hunter is going to go straight down onto the Veil Reaver, so no value from that, just going to burn a couple cards, and the cards that we do see burned is one Silence, a couple like a Lore and such, so nothing too spectacular. The Big Game Hunter does challenge the Ogre Brute quite nicely, so a Wrath probably down for 3 just to make sure that his Ogre Brute does not die, or maybe a Wrath for 1 and a Hero Power, we'll have to find out. He does not have a great turns with this 4 mana, so probably just a Wrath for 1 just to get some extra options open for next turn. Wrath for 3, so he's just going to Hero Power, looks like the shield off. So he has no great options for next turn, but that's alright, he's just going to wing it, I guess. So he did attend to attack the shielded mini-bot, and the Ogre Brute did not disobey him. Looks like Oil Nub is debating whether to do a Shredder or an Outdoor Peacekeeper. Or Muster for Battle. So StanTheYeti has won four opponents so far, so he is just kind of playing a fun deck right now. And that's why we see kind of all these funky cards. StanTheYeti not really having a great turn this time, so he might be left just to either swipe down this Outdoor Peacekeeper or just Hero Power and pass. The Ogre Brute does disobey him and attack straight into the Outdoor Peacekeeper. And he's just going to go with a Hero Power to face, so he's not going to set up a nice swipe turn onto the Outdoor Peacekeeper. So Sludge Belcher is going to come down and leave Oil Nub with a nice board presence and card advantage, while StanTheYeti is kind of left with not much at all. He does have scenarios for turn 9, but that's going to be a while. And that's what happens kind of when a innervated minion kind of gets shut down. The Druid is kind of left dry. So he does attack, so he's going to put down to 24 life. And Oil Nub has plenty of options. He could Sylvanas, might be the most common. He's going to go with the Shredder and Hero Power. That's going to leave semi-open to swipe, but not a big deal. Only 2 creatures would die to swipe, so... Okay, so there's a Keeper. He could silence something and then... he can probably just do 2 damage, yeah.
I must safeguard.
And he's probably going to Hero Power straight into the Sludge Belcher. Outdoor Peacekeeper for Oil Nub. Dr. Boom. But Big Game Hunter and Swipe isn't turned, so we'll see if both those cards get played. Swipe straight away onto the Sludge Belcher to clear out all the boom bots. So hopefully that his... Oh, okay. And Oil Nub's able to get a Thalnos out of the Shredder, so that... Ooh, and turn 8 perfectly. Quartermaster plus Muster for Battle on turn 8 might be huge right here. StanTheYeti has scenarios for next turn. Here comes the Muster for Battle. And then there goes Quartermaster. Waiting to get his card draw, and it's an Owl.
To arms, men.
Scenario's going to come down.
I concede.
And StanTheYeti is going to concede. Oil Nub goes up by 20 life, so bravo to him. Back everyone, we're going to load into the next game. Looks like we have StanTheYeti versus Oil Nub again. The current score is Oil Nub was able to defeat StanTheYeti with a funky Druid silence-based deck, but Oil Nub is running the exact same Paladin they had last game. StanTheYeti has switched to a Priest, looks like, hopefully probably pretty standard Priest. And we'll see how this develops. StanTheYeti's last deck was kind of like a fun deck. He's already won 4 games, so he kind of just threw that out there as a fun deck. He's probably going to win the whole night altogether with 4 wins, so he's just having fun at this point. Oil Nub is being a great participant, so if Oil Nub is actually able to win here, he will be a tree topper that's able to have his score continue out through the next day if he continues to play. And if StanTheYeti loses here, he'll be the tree topper and move into the barrel brawl stage, which is the group stage. So nothing too much on the line here. If Oilnub's able to win or lose, he can still play tomorrow and probably still progress fairly well. StanTheYeti has a great start here with Cleric, but usually for your Cleric you want to actually attack something and then heal. So the Cleric's probably going to straight up die to the Knife Juggler, but at least it put a threat on the board. Oilnub has a few good options. The Neutron is interesting choice. Now if StanTheYeti has a spell in hand, that will pretty much clear the board. He's going to go with a... Okay, so the knife did not hit the Pyromancer, so a spell will not straight up kill it, but fairly funky early game from both players. Plenty of early minions, and the trades... So StanTheYeti really wants to keep this injured Blade Master alive, which he probably can't with the Muster for Battle, so the weapon will attack in and kill the Blade Master. So StanTheYeti is kind of sad about that, but he has an Alkanite Soul Priest to follow up, and an Unholy Nova to kill all these guys if they become a problem. He is aware that this deck does run Quartermaster, so he just heals up, does not throw down the Alkanite. He's going to save that for an Alkanite Circle combo probably. And the Holy Nova will probably be used next turn to clear out the majority of the board, leaving only the Neutron left with no shield. And here we are. StanTheYeti's stuck at 24 life. So he does go with the Holy Nova. That's going to clear the majority of the board and heal him up for a little bit. And a second Muster for Battle comes in hand, so the only thing the Oilnub needs right now is a Quartermaster, and that will give him a huge board advantage. StanTheYeti's Wild Pyromancer, so that might help start clearing up the board. Looks like he's going to go with Alkanite Soul Priest and a heal onto the Neutron, just to get it out of the way, and allow StanTheYeti to have back board control. Oilnub looks like he's going to kill off the Alkanite Soul Priest with the hero power and a Sword of Justice. Here, I'm going to sneeze real fast, I'll be right back. Excuse me everyone, I had to mute the mic right there. But StanTheYeti, now he has a couple of options. He can develop a huge creature while healing himself up, or develop a couple small minions if he wants to with the Black Dark Cultist, Wild Pyromancer, and the Light of the Naru. He is aware of the threat of the Quartermaster, so he's going to go with a Sludge Belcher and a heal. And Oilnub is left with a Dr. Boom, so that's probably going to go down here. And the first half of the Sludge Belcher is going to get cleared with the help of the hero power and the weapon. So a nice back and forth going on right here. No real advantage, maybe a slight advantage in the favor of Oilnub, but you know, priests have great comeback mechanics. He might just throw down a Wild Pyromancer and a Shadow Word Death here to clear out his opponent's board. The Pyromancer will do 1 damage to everything, and then the slime is probably going to soak up a bomb hit. See where the bombs go? 4 and 4. So the board is cleared, but the face is intact for StanTheYeti, only at 26 health. So Oilnub's able to play his second Sword of Justice, or True Silver's Champion. Clear that straight away, so the buff is going to be considered useless. And card advantage definitely in favor of Oilnub. Olinub. Probably that's how you pronounce it, Olinub. Ooh, and a Cabal Shadow Priest. That is the ultimate answer to Harvest Golem. That is, whenever you see a Harvest Golem, that is the perfect target for Cabal Shadow Priest. So like I said, card advantage in favor of Olinub, but the Cabal Shadow Priest just turning the tide of this whole game. And Stan the Priest is getting his Cabal shut down a little bit with the Aldor Peacekeeper, but Zombie Chow does come down, and looks like Olinub is able to stabilize the board a little bit after that devastating loss of the Harvest Golem, and he didn't have to kill it himself. So Light of the Naru right here cannot essentially be used because if the unit is still damaged, it'll summon the Light Warden, but nothing right here will be damaged past 3 health gain. So looks like just a Power Word Shield draw, and he gets a Cleric, so he can draw again with the Cleric by healing his Cabal. But the Cleric could potentially just die next turn. He's not, he might not be too concerned about that. It looks like he's just gonna save it.
Is someone injured?
He might be wanting to save it for a Light and Naru combo so he can get 2 turns off of it, but he's just gonna use it right here, realizing that he's pretty long cards, and he just draws a Power Word Shield, and that's gonna save his Cleric hopefully. He gets a Cabal Shadow Priest, so the the Alchemized Soul Priest can be used with the Light of the Naru offensively. Equality, ooh, it's a tricky situation. The Lothep's really blocking out what Oilnub wants to throw down. Looks like he's gonna go with an Equality, and that's gonna kill probably the Lothep and the Cleric. There we go, so the Power Word Shields were effectively negated by the Equality. So even though it was a 7 mana Equality, it was still pretty strong. Ragnaros is probably going to be a great play here. And Oilnub does not have any good answers. He has used, I think he's only... Now, Ragnaros is not too affected by Aldor Peacekeeper, but it does help a little bit if you want to trade off your minions. But he already used one. He's going to set up a Shredder. Potentially, Oilnub could use... Okay, so he's going to go really pound down the targets for the potential Ragnaros to hit. StanTheYeti is running some great top decks. Healing himself back up to 30, and let's see where this hits. It's going to just kill a token, a dude. So Oilnub is happy with that. That was kind of his plan. Looks like he's going to silence the Sylvanas, make sure it doesn't get any value. Set up a Sledge Belcher as a nice block for the Ragnaros. Save his guys, and hopefully he gets a Quartermaster soon because he has a great board for it. And he gets the Slime from the Shredder. That's probably one of the worst. That's not the worst, because he could get a 1/1 Parrot or a Engineer, but StanTheYeti has a Cabal. He could steal something here and have his Ragnaros have a better target potential. He wants to kill the Sledge Belcher. That's prime target number 1. Second best target is probably going to be Oilnub's face directly. Looks like he's going to maybe Hero Attack and Light of the Naru the Sledge Belcher down. Or he's not going to do either. He's just going to use the body of the Soul Priest and stealing an Owl. And then okay, so his Ragnaros hits a decent target. He hits the face. And a Big Game Hunter comes in the hand for Oilnub, so that's great for him. That allows him to take care of the Ragnaros that has had 3 turns to shoot at his opponent. And he's going to use a Consecrate to hopefully clear out as much as possible. He realizes how threatening everything is. Both players are basically top decking at this point. And let's see how he trades this. He might throw in the Sledge Belcher and a couple tokens away. Sledge Belcher into the Soul Priest. And then a couple tokens into the Cabal. And that leaves his hand. He has board control. He has a weapon. He doesn't have much beyond that. Yet StanTheYeti's hand is pretty abysmal himself. So both players are pretty much top decking. And another terrible draw for StanTheYeti. He does not kind of want that. Looks like he's just going to go with heal and pass. He's probably going to... He's probably saving the Light of the Naru to use offensively, but I think he's used both Soul Priests. So that might not be a possibility. Oilnub is able to set up a great board here. Let's see if he throws down the Defender of Argus. He's probably... If he does that, he's going to be really open to a Soul Priest Circle combo, but... Looks like he does not. He's going to save that. Mind Control could be used on the Sledge Belcher here. just to get something rolling for StanTheYeti. And it looks like that's what he's going to do. It's probably not going to live long, but we'll see how well it does. Defender of Argus could be used here just to clear everything out. That's going to give 2 attack to a token, and then 2 life to a token to trade into the 1/1/1/2 slime. It looks like that's what he's going to go for. He does trade down one of his crappy tokens and takes 1 face damage, so... Ooh, a Thought Steal. That's probably exactly what StanTheYeti was wanting. Let's see if he gets like something cool like Tyrion. Ooh, and he gets a Lay on Hands. So he's going to start with 1 life and Aro, probably a second, and then heal himself to get plenty of power on the board. That's going to get these guys buffed up nicely while running down a Harvest Golem and a nice Sludge Belcher. That's what he wanted. So it looks like the Consecrate will go down here with the Sludge Belcher. Ollinub's able to maintain board control, but still at 3 life with no cards. StanTheYeti's able to do Lay on Hands is probably his best bet. See what he draws off those 3 cards. Circle of Healing, Holy Fire, okay. So that'll just kill Ollinub next turn. So he's just going to heal up, make sure that he doesn't die, and then just kill Ollinub next turn. And Ollinub does not top deck his own Lay on Hands, considering it does have in his deck, because StanTheYeti was able to Thought Steal it.
Reporting for duty.
Dark Cultist in hand, and here comes the Holy Fire. So StanTheYeti is able to win with 9 life. StanTheYeti versus Ollinub. The current score is 1-1. StanTheYeti has been on a 4-win streak. He has defeated everyone I've thrown at him tonight, so he is the current tree topper, but if Ollinub is able to win tonight, he's going to be able to go into the next few nights with a +1 win to his name. StanTheYeti will probably win the night regardless, considering this is one of the last opponents for the night. But StanTheYeti did switch his deck from the Priest to a Oil Rogue, it looks like, so StanTheYeti is throwing out pretty much every deck in the game right now. Throughout these four best of 3s that we have had him with, Ollinub did switch to a standard Shaman. It looks like he has the Doomhammer in there along with the Senjin, which is kind of interesting. Usually you don't... Senjin has kind of fallen out. The Shredder has kind of replaced the Senjin as a good 4-drop, but we'll see how this game turns out. Looks like both players have fairly good starts with the Zombie Chow, and pretty much whatever StanTheYeti wants to do here. He might be coining the weapon, he might be coining the Goblin Auto Barber without the Battle Cry effect. Turn 1, kind of a big deal. Let's see how StanTheYeti decides how to play his turn 1.
Choose soon.
So he's going to go with the coin Hero Power, maybe? Yep, coin Hero Power. That's going to leave a nice little boost to his power next turn, where he can just do Goblin Auto Barber and backstab whatever he deems fit. So here we go. How many backstabs will he want to use here? Looks like he's going to go with the Prep Phantom Knives to clear out the shield. One backstab might be going on the Noitron. So it looks like a little bit of a misplay. He could have backstabbed first. So he took 1 extra damage there. He could have backstabbed the Zombie Chow first, then used Phantom Knives, prep Phantom Knives, but not a big deal. He did heal up back to full, so essentially it doesn't matter, but yeah, not a big deal. So Ollinub is forced just to Hero Power himself, but that's going to get cleared straight away by the guy, and a Naked Phantom Knives is going to come down just to start the cycle. Usually you want to keep those for all the annoying stuff that Shamans can summon, and probably use it with a Spell Power Azure Drake, but he decides just to use it blank right here. He's going to be able to summon in Twilight Drake. Maybe he's going to backstab here just to clear out this dungeon. Okay, he's just going to use his minions and save all his spells for next turn. Now, Oil Nub is able to develop maybe a Shredder, maybe a Spider Tank along with a Hero Power. So this does look like a more mech-bait Shaman. We're probably going to see a Power Mace in this deck, just to synergize well with the current mechs that he does have. Azure Drake's going to come down to get some nice card draw. The Violet Teacher's probably going to be trading into the Healing Totem, just to clear out any annoying Shaman shenanigans. And StanTheYeti has plenty of low drop spells to start using, but he might just lose his... The Doomhammer is probably going to be clearing out the whole board right here, it looks like. He's going to be attacking both creatures with the 5 attack, clearing out the whole board, and leaving his Spider Tank to wreak havoc on StanTheYeti's space.
Well played.
StanTheYeti is not happy about that. He kind of wanted to use his Azure Drake and Violet Teacher with insane amount of spell value, but he's forced just to weapon up here. He might do a naked Tinker Sharp Sword Oil just to clear out the Spider Tank. So no minion is buffed by the first Sharp Sword Oil, so that leaves the combo potential pretty minimal. And Oil Nub did get a Power Mace, so that's probably not going to be able to use here for a while. He is going to start using the charges on the Doomhammer. And StanTheYeti is asking, how do you play Oil Rogue? And looks like this is one of his first times playing it, so looks like he's still having fun. This match does not matter too much because StanTheYeti has already won 4 games, so he's almost guaranteed to be the tree topper for the night. And Oil Nub is just kind of jumping in here to see if he can get a win off StanTheYeti to move into the next few nights. So both these guys are having a lot of fun. Our last night's winner was a Oil Rogue player, so Oil Rogue is definitely a top tier deck right now. Email Support was our winner last night, and Email Support pretty much played Oil Rogue the whole time. He was able to defeat 3 opponents with it. Oil Nub is able to develop a great board while using up all the charges on his Doomhammer. He's probably going to save the last 2 charges just to give him lethal. Now StanTheYeti looks like he's probably going to die here unless he can get some great Blade Flurries off. Yet he still might die to the Doomhammer and the Rockbiter weapon. So a Prep Sprint's going to start us off. Some solid draws. So probably a Backstab on this engine along with a Blade Flurry is the best bet. And then maybe a Vis, whatever comes out of the Shredder. Here we go, and Shredder gets a really crappy minion. So he's not forced to Vis it, he can just Hero Power it down. Yet Oil Nub is able to win with the Doomhammer here, so Oil Nub's able to win with 26 life, so bravo to him as he just executes this out. And here we go. What bam? 5 damage to face along with another 5 damage, so bravo to Oil Nub. He is going to continue on.